I'm very proud to be here today to celebrate all of Oregon's immigrant community. You are a part of our families, our communities, our workplaces, and places of worship. You are our neighbors, our friends, and our local business owners. It's up to us and community leaders like you to be the standard bearers of justice, equality, and civil rights. Together, we can build a better Oregon for everyone.
Juntos podemos construir un mejor Oregon para todos.
Muchas gracias, Maria.
Thank you so much. Gracias.
Welcome to InSight. I'm Wendy Brokaw.
And I'm Mary Louise Van Natta.
Oregon's immigrants have a champion in Causa, which has for decades been helping them and their families get a toehold and life and have a good life here in Oregon. But we don't know enough about Causa, and you've been helping immigrants for all this time, so we decided to ask Ivan Hernandez, the communications manager for Causa, to give us a thumbnail sketch of who you are and how you are helping immigrants here. Welcome.
No, thank you for having me. We, as you mentioned, Causa, have been in this area for over 20 years now. We were established in 1995 here in Salem. We're still here. And as you mentioned, our work deals with advocating for immigrants in Oregon and their families. Immigrants, we know, are part of our communities. They're part of our workplaces. They're part of our places of worship. Immigrants are part of the fabric that makes Oregon, and we advocate for them.
How do you inspire them?
Well, there's a different, right? We have volunteers. We have different people all around the state who believe in our mission, who believe in what we do. And it's been amazing to be able to work with them. And so that's a two-tiered thing, right? So for our allies or partners who work with us, we inform them, this is the issue with immigrants. And thankfully, our education throughout the years has been wonderful. For our partners now know, right? These are the issues that the immigrant communities in our state are facing. With our immigrant communities, it's making sure they're empowered and giving them the tools to participate in our system, participate in our democracy. And we do that through different methods, right? But it's bringing those two groups together and learning from each other so we can build a stronger state for all of us.
We met first at the May Day rally here at the state capitol, when there's a big push to see that all Oregonians have the right to drive. Is that something that Causa is championing for Oregon immigrants?
Yeah, definitely. We believe that that driving is an absolute necessity for Oregon families. We need to take our kids to school, go to work, and just take care of ourselves, whether that be going to the doctor, getting a prescription from our pharmacist, whatever that may be. Driving is an absolute necessity because we know that public transit isn't readily available to many. In metro areas, it might be more available than others, but we still know that if we want to do everything that we need just to live our daily lives, it's really impossible. And we know that immigrants are put in this impossible position, either choose to drive and risk being separated from their families and arrested, or not drive and make it very difficult for themselves to take care of their families. And that's kind of at the position that we're at, right? We know that in Oregon, we can't fix our broken and complex immigration system, but I think we can all agree that our neighbors shouldn't be separated over a traffic stop, so shouldn't be separated from their families.
So your organization is very important to the immigrants here in Oregon. Can you tell me a little bit about someone who's who's benefited from your organization, or a story of someone who's really been able to utilize Causa in a positive way?
Right. So, I can tell you and speak from my personal experience.
Oh, wonderful.
I've been in Oregon. My family has been in Oregon for over 20 years now. We immigrated from Mexico. But we've been part of our communities in Oregon for a long time, right? And through the work and advocacy of Causa, we've been able to really, really become part of our community and our state. I can tell you from personal experience, like I've gone to elementary school here, middle school here, high school. I graduated from a university in this state. So I'm an Oregonian, right? And it's because of organizations like Causa, where they fought for the rights of people like myself, people like my family, where I have had, the rights to do certain things, and now I'm paying it back. I'm paying it back to our state, to our communities, and really giving back and making this state a better place for all of us.
How does somebody get involved with Causa? Do you have volunteers?
No, we're definitely a volunteer organization. We need volunteers to survive. We have a website, causaoregon.org.
Perfect.
And you can just choose the volunteer option. You can put your information and we'll contact you. We'll let you know what's needed. And we have lots of different things. So whatever might fit your interest, we have different opportunities there.
One of the things I like about your website is that it encourages immigrants to get together, to work together and do causes together and communicate together. That's a way of advancing a lot of your agenda, is it?
No, absolutely. We have lots of different events, lots of different opportunities for everybody to get involved, right? And one of the ways that we break those barriers between people who might not know each other is getting them together. And that's really what our organization has done, right? We get immigrants and the community who might not be immigrants anymore, but who has their families have been here for generations, and we get them together to work together for a common cause, because the thing we want is a better Oregon, and that's what we're fighting for.
That's fantastic.
That is absolutely wonderful. Well, I know that there are a lot of issues that are national in nature, so I see you, Causa, reaching out to the larger world. How are you doing that?
Well, we start by building in Oregon, but we're also part of national networks to move the conversation forward on immigration and doing different things. But in some ways, we believe Oregon can be a leader for immigration issues.
And what would you count as Causa's greatest successes?
Well, so far, I would say we've done lots of different things, but one of the ones that especially recently, even this past fall, right, we had an anti-racial profiling law there was this law that wanted to take away our state's 30-year-old anti-racial profiling law on the ballot last fall. And within that, with different groups, but mostly Causa-led, we were able to defeat that soundly, right? Oregonians voted, over 63% of Oregonians voted to protect vulnerable communities, including immigrants, this past fall. And it's just, that's kind of signifies how far we have come as a country and really as a state here, and the work that organizations like Causa have done.
That's so important.
Give us your website again so that we can leave people with that.
That's Causa Oregon. That's CAUSA Oregon.org.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you so much for giving us a sense of who you are, what you're doing in the community, and I hope that our audience better understands what you're all about thanks to this
And
conversation.
I hope you come back and visit us again.
And would you come back again?
No, absolutely. Thank you for having me, and we'll definitely be back.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today on InSight. I'm Wendy Brokaw.
And I'm Mary Louise Vannatta, and we'll see you next time.